let's take a second and learn a little bit about PLLA, or poly-L-lactic acid, with the brand name Sculptra. Sculptra was invented during the HIV and AIDS epidemic, when those patients who had the sickness had that gaunt facial atrophy, really hollow, bony, right? This is when this came into play. They started using this to rebuild patients' facial structure back. And it's an amazing product. It's actually used today in pediatric cranio remodeling cases. So they use PLLA to help rebuild the cranium, and they do that during surgery. So this is a product that's used in many different ways, and I want to explain it a little bit. So when it comes, it arrives as a powder. This is the powder. So there's no liquid in here whatsoever. So this is not a filler. Okay, this is not a filler. This is a pure biostimulator. What we do is we take this vial and we mix it with sterile water, bacteriostatic sterile water. And what that does is it creates it's the diluent. This is the diluent to here. Now, this is a great option for people who have never done anything, are scared of doing things, because it's a slow and gradual process. This is a product I reach for all the time on my patients who are in their maintenance phase, because I'm not trying to add volume, I'm just trying to keep up collagen. So the purpose of this product is it purely grows collagen, elastin, and fibrin. That's it. That is what it does. There's no filler in it whatsoever. On label, it lasts 3 to 5 years. Now, when you read the study about it, which is really interesting, I said, well, why 5 years? Why does it end at 5 years? Well, if you read the study, at 5 years, they ran out of funding. So it probably lasts longer than that, but they just couldn't do the study anymore because it was too expensive. So that is how long lasting this type of procedure is. Now, when we lay down the Sculptra, I like to use a few different paintbrushes, let us say. But when you lay it down, what patients feel is they love it because they have this volume in there. You feel like you just look rejuvenated. But remember, the volume is just water. So your body's going to drink that water, and then it's going to look like you had nothing done for at least 6 weeks, at least. At 6 weeks is when you're really going to start seeing that collagen production. All of a sudden, you're getting more resilience to your skin. It's a skin conditioner too. It remodels the skin scaffolding of your skin. And then around 4 to 6 months is when it looks the best. So it's really great to do something like this in the winter, so that by the spring and summer it's poppin'. This is often something that I reach for with my patients who have very thin skin, patients who are very thin in general and then have very thin skin, because what we're trying to do is get longevity. And if we just use filler in there, like a hyaluronic acid that is absorbing water, it will give them an improvement, but it won't last very long. They'll have to come back every year, if not more frequently, to maintain those results. And so what I like to do is use a little bit of everything. I want to use Sculptra. Sometimes I like to do 2 rounds of Sculptra in order to really get the collagen growing, so that when I do facial balancing, it's that much more impactful. Remember, collagen is built from collagen. So if we are starting with skin that is a little bit collagen deficient, that first round of Sculptra will have an impact, but not a huge impact, because I want you to think about it almost as if we are laying down the miracle grow from which everything else can grow. That's how the flowers are gonna grow. But if your soil is not healthy, then we just need that fertilizer first to get everything healthy underneath there. Then when you get your second round of Sculptra, now you're seeing wild results because the collagen can be built from the collagen. Does that make sense? So even if you have beautiful flowers that you want to plant, if that soil isn't great, you're not really going to keep them lasting very long. You know, that's sort of how I think about it. I always refer to Sculptra as your long-term investment. Think of it like your 401k. You lay it down and then you have to forget about it, right? Forget that you're putting money in there, and you just are going to hope that one day that 401k is nice and full. It's the same thing with Sculptra. We lay it down and we forget about it. A few months later, you come in and we can't figure out why you look so good. Oh yes, it's the Sculptra kicking in. I had Sculptra done in my cheeks and my frame about 6-7 years ago, and I haven't had to do much since then. That's how long it lasts. So it's a beautiful product when it's in the hands of the right provider, injecting on the right plane at the right depth. Part of patients' post-care will be massaging it, because if you think about it, when you stand up, right, after you get this procedure, you have liquid in your face, you have sterile water with the powder in it. And so I think about gravity, and we don't want the liquid to just sit and form pockets of collagen. We really want it everywhere. So I tell my patients to massage their face, spread that baby around. We really want to spread all that Miracle Grow around. And then you'll see how happy you were that you made that decision a couple months later.